So, you're involved in the Baltimore housing market, right? Whether you're buying, selling, or just living here. There's this term that gets thrown around all the time, fair market value. But what does that really mean, especially in a city as unique as this one? Well, let's get into it.
Yeah, this quote right here, it absolutely hits the nail on the head. Fair market value sounds so official, so straightforward. But in Baltimore, it's a whole different ballgame. It's super local, super nuanced. We're not just talking about the basic stats of a house, we're talking about a story that can literally change from one street to the very next.
Okay, so let's get the textbook definition out of the way first. At its core, fair market value is pretty simple. Imagine a buyer who's ready to buy and a seller who's ready to sell. And, importantly, neither one is being forced into the deal. The price they agree on, out in the open, that's it. That's the sweet spot we call fair market value. All right, now for the important part, what fair market value is not. And this is a big one. It is not that Zestimate you see online. Nope. It's also not the value the city uses for your property taxes. And it's for sure not just the wishful thinking price a seller slaps on their listing. A real appraised value comes from a professional digging into the data to see what homes are actually selling for. And here's where we get to the heart of the matter for Baltimore specifically. Look, this city isn't some cookie-cutter suburb where every house in a subdivision is worth the same. Oh no, Baltimore is a city of what we call micro-markets. And that means the value of a house can change, dramatically, just by walking from one block to the next. It's wild. So what are these hyper-local things we're talking about? Well, an appraiser here has a totally unique checklist. Is it a row home or a detached house? They behave differently in the market. That kitchen reno you did, what's the actual quality? Is there ground rent? That's a classic Baltimore thing. And the big one, is there a parking pad? You know how huge that is. Plus, how close are you to gems like Patterson Park or Druid Hill? All of this stuff matters a lot.
You want a perfect example? Let's talk parking. In neighborhoods like Canton, Fells Point, or Fells Point, finding a spot is, well, you know. So a private parking pad, that's not just a nice little perk, it's a game changer. We're talking a potential value boost of $25,000, even $50,000 just for a slab of concrete.
This right here shows you exactly what I mean by micro-location. Think about it. You could have two homes, same size, same condition. But one is just a short walk from all the cool shops and restaurants on the avenue in Hampden. The other is on a super busy street like Harford Road. Guess which one's going to be worth more? It's not even close. Same city, but in real estate terms, they're worlds apart.
So, with all these unique variables, how does an appraiser even begin to figure it out? It's not just a gut feeling or a wild guess. There's actually a strict rulebook they have to follow. It's called USPAP, which stands for the Uniform Standards of Professional Appraisal Practice. It's a big deal, and it means the whole process is standardized and professional.
When you boil it all down, the process has two main parts. First, the appraiser plays detective. They hunt down what we call comps. That's just shorthand for comparable sales of similar houses nearby that sold recently. Then, part two, they make adjustments. Your house has a brand new roof, but the comp didn't? Adjust. The comp had a finished basement and yours doesn't? Adjust. They fine-tune the numbers based on all those little differences.
And if you look at how an appraisal is built, you can see that those comps we just talked about, they are by far the biggest piece of the pie. They're the foundation of everything. But of course, all those other factors, the specific location, the condition of the property, the quality of the upgrades, they all play a really important role in shaping that final number.
Okay, so what happens during the actual on-site visit? Well, an appraiser is trained to look past the fresh paint and the nice furniture. They're looking for the real story. How old is that roof and the HVAC system? Is that kitchen renovation actually good quality, or is it just a cheap flip? They're checking out the functional layout, the curb appeal, all the stuff that an algorithm can't see and a typical buyer might totally miss.
And that really brings us back to the huge difference between a certified appraisal and some online estimate. A computer algorithm has no idea if your basement has a tiny leak, or if you installed an amazing high-end kitchen. It can't tell you if the block has a great community feel. An appraisal is powerful because it combines the hard public data with something an algorithm will never have: a professional's eyes on the actual property and deep local market expertise.
So, at the end of the day, why should you care about any of this? Well, it's simple. If you're a buyer, a good appraisal is basically your insurance policy against paying too much. If you're a seller, it's the proof that your asking price is fair, which is crucial for making sure the buyer's loan gets approved. For everyone, it's about protecting what is probably the biggest financial decision of your life. And you might be surprised. It's not just about buying or selling a house. You'll need a formal appraisal for a bunch of other big life events too. Thinking of refinancing your mortgage? You'll need one. Settling an estate or going through a divorce? Yep, you'll need one then too. It's the official, legally recognized valuation of your property.
If you remember one thing, let it be this. An appraiser doesn't decide what your home is worth. The market does that. What real people are actually paying for homes right now, that sets the value. An appraiser's job is to be the expert interpreter, the one who can read all the signals and translate what the market is truly saying. So that leaves you with a question, a really important one. When it comes to the financial story of your home, who's writing it? Is it a faceless algorithm that's never set foot in your neighborhood? Or is it someone who actually understands the reality of Baltimore's streets?
Because in a city this complex, this Baltimore, local experience isn't just a bonus, it's everything. It's about having someone who gets all those little nuances we talked about. And that's what a trusted, certified appraiser provides. A clear, accurate picture of your investment based on real-world knowledge.